This film is about physical mediumship filmed in light, using a new form of energy that spirit providing called photoplasm. With photoplasm, it enables people to see spirit materializations and spirit movement in the material world on film. There are thousands of people who have been involved in these experiments, and they have all seen and witnessed amazing psychic phenomena in a low intensity red and blue light. The object of this is to prove the existence of life after death, and to prove that what happens in darkened rooms does actually happen. You can see it here, thanks to photoplasm. What you're going to see in this clip is young Ben Clutton being given the flower, and you'll see that the flower actually independently moves in his hand. But then I actually put my hand over his just to make double sure that he can't move it, and you'll still see that it moves. And I think you can see by his reaction that he's quite surprised. Lean over and pass your hand just gently over the top of it. Turn it, you're turning it, look. Turn it, look, you're turning it. Turn it. Turn it. Turn it.
I can see that.
Turn it.
It's going towards me.
Turn, yeah, that's it. Turn it. You're not moving it at all in your hand. Turn. Turn. See, there's no way we can move that car. And his hand's gripping it, my hand is gripping his hand.
Well, they look like they're gripping it.
Yeah, and there's no way, you see. What he's doing is he's pulling the etheric part, and in so doing, he's pulling the physical part. Remember I said the etheric part moves first, then the physical part? You see it moving? Right, stop, Jamie. Come on. Come on, Spirit. Come on. For the
it's twisting in my fingers.
Yeah, now look, I'm not moving my hand at all. Look at this, look.
Wow.
Now look at that, Carl.
I can see that.
Oh.
And it's
It's twisting in my fingers.
He couldn't move that, see?
My fingers gone really.
No, don't worry. Don't worry.
That really hurt really badly.
Okay.
Ow.
As you can see, the flower moves independently. One of the guides is actually moving the flowers in both our hands. Once again, it's the etheric part being speeded up and the flower itself being actually pulled and maneuvered by the photoplasmic rods that are connected to it.
Now there it's moving.
Watch.
Yeah.
Look at this.
You can see it twisting.
Yeah. Now you can see that my hands aren't touching. Come on. Come on. Come this way. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Can you see it moving, Carl?
Yeah.
When you see people moving their hands over the flowers and the balls and the other objects that you see moving, what they're doing is, because their vibration is speeded up, their etheric body or etheric fingers are actually making contact with the etheric rods or photoplasmic rods that are connected to the etheric bodies, i.e. the flowers, for instance. Before the physical flower can move, the etheric part has to move first. But once the etheric part is vibrated enough, it actually transmits the power to the physical object, in this case the flowers. So therefore, when the etheric part is being moved, it actually moves the physical part. Watch. Now, watch this. You see that?
Yeah.
Right. I'm not touching it. You're gripping it.
Oh my god.
As you can see by Ben's reaction, he's quite surprised himself, because this was actually one of the first times that Ben has actually sat in a circle. Now, did you expect that, Ben? So you can see by his surprise that his reaction really is quite genuine.
I was holding it like that, twisting around in my, like it was bending around.
It's just like when anything dies,
It changes.
all it does is it just changes to another form of energy.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Nothing. Just to prove there's nothing there, we break it up, yeah?
Yeah? Just pull it to pieces.
Nothing there.
As a scientific experiment.
There you go.
Quite remarkable.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's certainly turned though.
I can feel it's like a tingling right between my thumb and forefinger.
Yep.
I can feel that tingle as it's, I think, as it's trying to be pulled out the hand.
It's turning again.
Oh, it's.
There we go.
Yeah.
It was definitely a new experience.
You can see the flower moving in Aaron's hand.
Yep.
And you can feel it, Aaron,
Yeah,
moving?
okay.
And you're not moving that at all,
No.
You could see Aaron's and the other lads, his flower was moving like...
Quite mind-blowing to think that something that's not present can move a flower in such a way that I was finding it hard to hold on to. And I was squeezing my 2 fingers with my other 2 fingers, and I could actually feel the flower twisting in such a way that my fingers were having a hard time holding on to it.
I was gripping it really tight, so there was absolutely no way that it could have moved by itself, and it did. And I could feel it like moving in between my fingers, and there was absolutely no way that it could have done that because I was holding it too tight, and I wasn't moving it myself either.
And the flower was just turning, and they could feel it turning. And you know, to know that they're not making it up.
Ghosts are real.
And you're not moving that at all,
No.
Considering the tension that I was putting on it, it still managed to move through my fingers.
I did feel like a pull on the stem.
I never expected it to be like that.
It's quite unbelievable.
It's actually quite a beautiful thing that someone that has passed can actually get in contact with you.
It was definitely a supernatural experience.
We've used just about every flower that you can imagine. We've had roses turning, violets, and the flower actually physically opens and closes as well. But beyond what you see with the flowers, if you're actually present in the room, you can actually see a blue energy that actually envelopes not only the flower, but also envelopes your fingers.
Blue or grey light going from my fingers towards the flowers, and the flowers moved.
Well, see, I was holding a flower and my sister Samantha, she would go like that or something, and the flower would start to twist and pull in with my other brother beside me. Yeah, I was holding it like as hard as I could. Yeah, the petals were moving definitely.
The energy I got most was from over at the flowers. The tingling in my fingers was just fantastic, and still is. When the boys were holding the flowers, their heads bent towards each other. Definitely, I did see that. And some light around the tops of the flowers. The energy in the fingers. And I could see the lights going from them towards the flowers, and the flower leaves moved.
I saw the rose move.
You were holding the flowers, you weren't holding them that tightly, and they moved. And the stem moved, and the actual flower turned. Without anything, you weren't doing anything to it to make it move.
I loved the flower thing, actually.
Do you see it turning in your hand?
I can feel it turning.
You can feel it and you can see it turning. There's not an illusion.
It was quite cool, and it did move in my hand.
It always looks like it's moving.
It did actually twist around, and some of the petals almost like closed up.
Tell me how you see it moving.
It's almost like the petals are
Vibrating.
Yeah.
They're vibrating and wriggling. Tell me what you see what it was.
It's opening on the edges, and it's vibrating down there into my hand.
It feels like it wants to turn.
Yeah.
They're all moving about.
Yeah. Watch. Ah, can you see them?
They're moving.
There you can see it moving. And there's no doubt, look, it's twisting in your hand and you're not moving it, you're not touching it.
Definitely.
But it's spinning in your hand. Watch. Ah, can you see them?
They're moving.
There you can see it moving. And there's no doubt, look, it's twisting in your hand and you're not moving it, you're not touching it.
Definitely.
But it's spinning in your hand.
Yeah, flowers are strange. Just appeared to vibrate, and petals moved, and actually twisted between your fingers as well, which was quite weird. So yeah, I don't understand how that happened. I had a grip on the flower and it twisted over in my hand. Yeah.
When you see people moving their hands over the flowers and the balls and the other objects that you see moving, what they're doing is because their vibration is speeded up, their etheric body or etheric fingers are actually making contact with the etheric rods or photoplasmic rods that are connected to the etheric bodies, i.e. the flowers, for instance. Before the physical flower can move, the etheric part has to move first. Now, the reality is, of course, that modern day science says that a flower cannot open and close and cannot move at the rate that it actually does on the film. And this is why people say, oh, this is a fake, this is a fraud. The reality is, of course, that because of photosynthesis on the earth plane, it takes a long time for a flower to open and close. But the etheric part, you must understand, is actually a spirit body. So therefore it moves much more quickly than the physical counterpart does. But once the etheric part is vibrated enough, it actually transmits the power to the physical object, in this case the flowers. So therefore, when the etheric part is being moved, it actually moves the physical part, or if you like, the spiritual part is moving the physical part of the flower. Thus it opens and closes and actually physically moves on film. If you ask me what the rods are, to be honest, I can only tell you that they are gathered energy from spirit, and they are used constructively to create a connecting piece which can actually build structures. These people, totally independent, are actually physically putting their hands out and physically feeling a warm hand or a warm body. And each circle is different. It's a work in progress. Spirit working with us.
After that, Patrick gave us a flower, which I held pretty tightly too. And it just started spinning clockwise.
Yeah, look at that. Wow.
That's crazy.
Now, let's just pass this flower.
That's
over
wild,
the top.
oh my god.
You know, like in Lewis's hand last night, the flowers were it's just turning. And then I picked up the same flower.
And then it started spinning counterclockwise.
It's going the other way. It's going the other way.
Oh no, I can see that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's going the other way, yeah. Whoa. Whoa, look at it, look at it, look at it. Yeah, yours is really pulsing now, isn't it? Whoa, yeah. And yours is really turning.
And then it felt like somebody was pulling on my hand, like pulling it down, trying to get my attention.
Kirsten's was spinning in one direction one moment, you know, it's varying in speeds. It was either really slow or it's like it was speeding up and then going back down to being really slow, whereas mine felt like it was just like pulsing, like there was energy or blood flowing through into that flower, like it was literally just like an extension of myself, and it was just pulsing and radiating.
He gave us some flowers each for us to use. So here's the actual flower that I've got, and I actually held, the other guys held their flower with thumb and forefinger, but I actually held it between my two fingers like this.
Feel it turning in my hand?
Sort of slightly turning. That's right.
The flowers that we had, the three of us, my flower was like it was blooming. Even though the flower that I've got here, it's completely open, it was like it was shut and opening and opening and opening and blooming out, and then it was doing the opposite and closing and closing, closing, like it's coming into the winter or coming in to die. And then of course I noticed Kirsten's, her flower again was slowly rotating, and Tristram's flower was actually pulsating like a heart. That's the only way he could explain it. It was actually pulsating to the beat of his heart.
I can feel it almost pulsing.
I swapped hands. I had it in these two, then I swapped over because I thought, well, maybe it's me. It can't be me. How can the flower be doing that? So I swapped over to the two, exactly the same thing. After a couple of minutes, we all felt the sensation. We were all incredibly hot.
I'm a bit hot now.
And then dizziness came, and then we all just stopped and stood back, and it was like, wow, what happened there? Yeah, very, very amazing.
We were all given a flower, and it was amazing. The feeling that you actually get through it, you're nearly kind of convinced yourself that you're doing it yourself, but you know you're not.
It's tangibly moving in your fingers and you can see it.
But it was very, very strong. The feeling of it slip nearly came out of my fingers a few times. It's actually slipping out of my thumb when he's holding it.
It's independently turning and being pulled from your finger.
It was no way possible that I was moving it. And I even put the force into my own fingers to close it tighter, to prove to myself that I wasn't moving it. But no, definitely not. And it wasn't power of the mind either or anything like that. It was definitely moving on its own in between my fingers. When you put your fingers over mine...
So I'm going to hold it here.
You are independent. This is real evidence.
It was pretty tight. There was no way that I could have moved it, but it was going so far that it was coming out of it was slipping out of my fingers with your hand on top of mine as well. And there's no way that you could do it yourself. You would have felt my fingers move if I was trying to do it, basically, but I was delighted when you did do that.
You're pinching her thumb and her forefinger.
It's actually slipping out of my thumb when he's holding it. Because it just proved even more to me as well that it definitely was nothing that I was doing anyway. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. I never thought it would be possible with a flower. And such the tiniest little stem as well, but you could feel every single movement of it through your finger. It was great.
The most significant thing for me out of the experiment tonight would have been the flowers. I felt the energy come off them when I was standing with the other girl, and it was clearly moving in my hand and I had no control over it. The flower was turning by itself. It took off and I have no explanation for that. I had it between my fingers so that I couldn't possibly move it, and it was still turning, and it turned. As far as I'm concerned, there's no explanation. It couldn't have but it did.
Flowers kept moving and I was like, I'm not moving. And I kept concentrating, am I doing that?
That's moving in your hand, isn't it? No, you're not doing that.
No.
You're not moving it, but
No.
you can feel it moving.
Because it looks like it's moving.
Yeah. Karl's got it on film, physically moving.
Yeah, I can see
And you're
it
not
move.
helping that in any way, are you?
No.
Marie was standing beside me and my flower would lean towards hers or would pull.
It's definitely moving.
I'm not doing that.
I know.
But I knew I wasn't doing it, but yeah, that was amazing.
It's an amazing night, absolutely fantastic night. I would just go, wow. Wow was the whole night.
Now with the flowers, it was kind of strange because I got to hold two types of flower, and I must say about one that I held, it was a white rose, I believe. It decided that it really liked this other flower, this thin one.
Can you feel that pulling?
Yeah.
Describe what's happening, Chris.
It wants to slip out. It kept pulling its energy towards it, and I felt this rush through my fingers, snapping straight into the flower, and then the flower would bend, it would curve, it would violently shake.
And you can feel it? I can feel it. You can actually feel it?
It would just like to spin and spiral a lot. It didn't really vibrate as much as the bulkier flower, but there was lots of spinning activity. It didn't seem to have this attraction that the other flower had towards it. In the eyes of a skeptic, I guess you could say, oh, I was moving it, but I could tell you I wasn't. It got to the point where I was so unsure about its movements that I had to grip it with my other fingers and it still moved. My experiences with the thinner flower, I did feel energy go through my fingers, not physical movement, but pure energy.
Every thought you've ever had surrounds you, so it can never be destroyed. So you can never be destroyed.
And I couldn't explain how that was happening. I knew I didn't do it. That was the first time it had happened for me because all this spiritual energy is quite new with myself. I can't convince anyone. All I can say is what happened with me, and I can reassure you that I did not do anything to that flower. Its movements were happening before me without my control.
I was looking at the flowers, watching them start to move in people's hands. Initially, I didn't really see my flower moving at all. I was next to Sam and his flower started to move. And I could see that one was moving, but I was thinking, oh, I'm not getting anything here. It wasn't working for me. And then I noticed I'd look away, but the flower had moved when I looked back. And I think I was probably just concentrating too hard, because as soon as I stopped looking at it and looked away, I could feel the movement in my fingers. I could feel something sort of going on. And it was really strange because as soon as I looked, it seemed to stop, and I was...
Richard, it's going around your hand.
You can see it going around his hand.
Yeah.
Your flower's moving, Richard.
You probably saw me, I was looking away deliberately, and then I could think, it's moving. So I'd look back and it would just stop. At one point, it was actually, I could feel it virtually nearly spinning in my hand, and I thought, this is really frustrating because I want to watch it. I want to see it actually doing it. And as soon as I looked, I could feel it just went dead and it just stopped. And I was looking along the row and seeing all the other people, and they're going, wow, this is great, this is fantastic. And I'm thinking, oh, I feel really left out today. It was incredible, really. I was absolutely amazed.
When I held the flower in my hand, there was nothing to start with, but then it started like vibrating and shuddering. It just started going round.
Oh my goodness. That's amazing.
That is amazing.
You see that? It's gone mad. Oh my God. You see that?
I could feel the vibration. It was like vibrating. And then it just started turning round. And then it started getting faster.
Can you feel that pulling?
Yeah.
Describe what's happening, Chris.
It wants to slip out.
Then the young lady came and held my fingers. So she held it quite tight. So that flower's vibrating. Like, it's really vibrating in my hand. It wasn't me that was actually doing it. It was the actual energy. And you can actually see the petals moving as well. It was actually spinning round and then stopping, then going back the other way. So it was going backwards and forwards each way. You get to a certain point, then it go back again. Then all of a sudden, after me having it for 10-15 minutes,
Doing what it wants to do.
spinning backwards and forwards, all of a sudden it just went down. To me, that was like, I've had enough now, that's it. It did quite shock me actually, you know, that the flower was actually turning backwards and forwards, and I was just holding it tight with 3 fingers. So yeah, it was quite a good experience.
It started turning round. At first it didn't do nothing, I was looking at it, and then all of a sudden I felt a vibration, and it started going one way.
You can see it, can't you? And you can feel it.
It's amazing.
You can actually feel it. And this is real.
That is crazy.
That flower's vibrating, like it's really vibrating in my hand.
Then it started going the other way, but very slowly. Then it was bending over, and within that experiment, I was holding the flower in different positions. This way with my hand up like this, in between my thumb and finger, well, 2 other fingers. And I just thought, wow, that is incredible. Because I also had the young lady holding my hand so she could see I wasn't moving my hand or anything like that. And it was still going. So yeah, I found that great. I really was impressed with that.
This is a repeatable experiment and can be done in most venues. Any form of spiritual development is that you must have the ability to speed up your vibration. When you speed up your vibration, you then come into contact with spirit or the etheric world, which means that you can see the flowers move, and it will come out on film, because once the vibration is attuned enough with enough energy from enough people, then you will get that transition into physical mediumship.
I had the flower in my hand, it was gripped just like so, and I didn't twist it round or anything, and it managed to turn round about 270 odd degrees round this way. Okay, that's possibly a bit strange, I get that.
Now that's moving your hands.
Yeah.
And you're holding it quite firmly, aren't you?
Yeah. I held it strong enough that if I couldn't turn it sort of right round at the moment, something else or whatever it was able to move it round away. No doubt. Then I felt something as if it was sort of caressing my shoulder slightly. So I can feel something moving my left. But I sort of could feel as if there was something, as if something moved my shoulder down to the left. Definitely felt as if there was something going on this evening. Definitely.
Definitely tingling. Felt like a pull, but a pull down and then slightly back up and then down again, yeah.
And you could start to feel as though the flower was being twisted from below it.
Twisting it, trying to twist it.
Rather than, you know, physically turning. Most of the time I had my eyes closed just to try and, you know, somehow not influence it at all, so it was completely out of my control, really.
It felt very intense.
To physically see, feel, hear and understand spirit. And this is what all these experiments are about. All of these witnesses, everybody who you see on the videos has agreed to appear on those videos. And most of them started off originally as skeptical. They saw, felt and heard spirit themselves. You can go to any one of those sites and ask any of the witnesses, and they will tell you that that's what they saw. Because they have actually stated it on the film.
Definitely something interesting, and I'd love to try it again.
It's something that I don't think anybody ever thinks about.
Quite a surreal experience.
I saw 2 flowers held within maybe 2 or 3 inches of each other, and when my hand was passed between them, it was almost as if the flowers were physically drawn together and then sprang apart.
Because it's a different experience.
Definitely something there.
So it kind of made me think, you know, this is really onto something here. It's really
the truth really is out there, but it's also in here. If we look far enough, we'll find the answers.